Welcome, my chingus, to episode 55 of This Week in K-Pop. In this episode, we will talk about 2PM, J Park, Mino, Nasty Nasty, SPICA.S, Verbal Jint, and more. My name is Steven.
I'm Josh.
And today, we are going to talk about some K-Pop, like we do
What?
every episode.
What? I thought we were talking about like iPhone 6 today.
Sometimes we get on rants and distractions, but usually This Week in K-Pop is a discussion podcast that covers the last 2 weeks of K-pop music video releases. And each episode, Josh and I will pick what we think is the best song of the last 2 weeks. Now, last episode, we told you guys to go on our YouTube page to fill out a comment, and you'll be entered into kind of a sweepstakes giveaway.
Sweepstake. Well, it's not really that big of a.
I mean, it's not that
big of a deal.
But we're gonna announce the winner during our kind of like in about 30 minutes in our halfway point.
Yeah, maybe.
But we got a winner.
Maybe about 40 minutes. I mean, depending how long this podcast will be. It doesn't look like it'll be that long though.
Yeah. We just had Chuseok, which is like Korean Thanksgiving. So the amount of music videos released were probably cut in half the normal amount.
Yeah, definitely a lot less.
And the quality was also maybe maybe half. I don't know.
I mean, depending on what kind of genre you like, but for us, it definitely.
If you're in a big AAA groups, it was a pretty light week.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Except for maybe like one or two people, right?
I think maybe only one.
Yeah.
I would consider one AAA.
Yeah.
One is like used to be AAA maybe.
Oh, you're so rude.
You're so rude. Anyways, let's just go straight to it.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Which is my favorite song of the last 2 weeks. And I will say, we watched the 20 or so music videos that were released. And there were only 2 songs that I considered to be decently good.
Well, would you download, like, any songs besides these 2?
Okay.
Okay, so let's break it down, Steven. How many songs would you actually physically download from this past 2 weeks? Past 2 weeks.
Past 2 weeks? Last episode, I downloaded the shit out of Xseed, or EXID. I didn't download any other songs, but not because I didn't want to. It's just because literally the last 2 weeks, I was like, I like K-pop just kind of, I was done with it. I didn't update kpopreleases.com for like a week.
Oops.
I just played video games, and it was amazing.
Blame Destiny.
So that is partially actually the reason why this podcast is a little late. The other half is that, it was mainly me. Josh, you did drink a lot. So luckily we didn't do it that day.
Sunday was kind of a wasted day for me.
I mean, did you wake up? You didn't even see the day.
Yeah, F you in the bugs, dude.
Called you out.
Oh,
Called you out. You like to suckle that devil's teeth.
My mama's not listening to this podcast.
Ain't none of our mamas listening to this. Anyways, let's talk about my favorite song of the week, and that is by a group called 2PM with their song Go Crazy. Now, 2PM is one of my favorite boy groups. I think a couple episodes ago we were saying, which boy groups could release a song and I would be interested.
I think we said 2PM. I'm not really too sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think I did. But 2PM is one of those groups. It's just been a while since they've been here.
It's been maybe almost more 2 years, right? Almost 2 years, year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half maybe. Since Ad Toy and that other song that escapes my mind right now.
All Day Think of You.
Yeah, and 2PM's been busy in Japan, so it's great that they're finally back. And everything that I love about K-pop is represented in this song and music video and choreography. Just the whole package is here. I love it.
You know what, Steven? So this would have been my song of the week if Steven didn't pick it. But we kind of have a rule that we try to pick distinct songs from each other.
Yeah, we'll try to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm with Steven on this one. This music video and this song, it was just fantastic. Like, it is the reason why I feel I got into K-pop, why Steven got into K-pop. I could do without a lot of the lights and flashing in the music video, but the choreography is just spot on just amazing. It's really creative and really like interactive amongst its members. You don't have just like people just doing the same thing or kind of like, you know.
Like, I think SHINee's better dancers. They're better dancers.
Yeah.
But I think 2PM does like that kind of group choreography that anybody can do, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's more relatable to me. And I like it more because the dance is silly.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun, but like anybody can do that. This is something that if I'm in a club, which I'm never going to be in, but I wish they were dancing like this because that would be fun as hell.
Yeah, like the choreography that I find is the most fun and the most interesting. Usually it's a move that looks like you can replicate it. Yeah, you can copy it. But when you do it, it just doesn't look as good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna try to pull some of these moves, and you're like, it doesn't look like what 2PM's doing it. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But really, it's really, really fun. The song is also really catchy. The only thing I kind of have to complain about the music video itself is I thought the CG cuts were a little bit kind of cheesy, and some of the flashing lights were a little bit too much. But all in all, it's a really, they're just having fun, just kind of just broing out.
I kind of thought the whole beginning part was a little jab at like box sets and was like, we're going to start this like kind of a boring ass box set video. Then we're going to break free of that.
Into another box set.
Into another less boxy of a box set, but still kind of a box set. But, it just reminds me of like an older day, right? Like maybe when their debut song 10 out of 10 came out. It was very much like this, although this is way more polished.
Yeah.
It's just, it was fun. It was kind of a very upbeat song. It kind of reminds me of Block B's kind of personality, but with more dancing and more
silliness.
more reined in a little bit.
Yeah, more. I mean, Block B, granted, is silly. But it kind of has like the same elements of why I think we like Block B nowadays is because they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And we really like that. Like, I feel most fandoms, they kind of, sympathize, not sympathize. What's the word I'm looking for?
Honestly, I have no idea what you're saying right now.
They feel closer to their idols when their idols kind of act silly. And a lot of idols empathize. Is that my English is not good right now? But when the group members act silly, like outside, like in variety shows, like that's what really kind of draws in the fandom. And I think people would make a killing if you put that just silliness straight into a video like this. Like, I love this video. This is an amazing video. It's really super fun, and I feel the same way about Block B. And I'm not too big of a fan of concepts that are just too serious, Yeah.
And I mean, like 2PM did their serious thing.
Yeah.
Atoll
is kind of serious. Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
A lot of body rubbing.
They did a lot of more like we're suave and they're sexy. Although when they did suave and sexy, I think they did it right. They weren't wearing crazy ass outfits. They were wearing like suits and like nice ass vests in their last one.
They're keeping it classy.
Yeah, and this one they have the goofy outfits, or at least some of them have the goofy ass outfits.
Yeah.
Some of them have the awful haircuts, although some of them got pretty nice haircuts.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun. It's like I would want to hang out with these people, right?
Yeah.
Like
I want to go to the party they're at. That looks really fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's just that. This is what I like. It's a little sad to me, though, that, the girls, for example, my middle school students, like, they grew up in this era of, like, all the boy groups pretty much kind of being the same. I know this is a little bit of an outsider's view because, again, I'm not super into any of those boy groups that are out now. But, like, there's not only are there 20 of them, there's 15 of them that I couldn't even name right now. And you probably couldn't even name right now.
And a lot of them are doing the same concept. Yeah. And that's, I wouldn't say I feel bad for them, but because they like what they like. But I wish that they could have liked K-pop when it was kind of, quote unquote, in this golden age, I feel like.
Yeah. Like, that's why we like B1A4. That's why we like Block B.
Yeah.
Because they're a little bit different.
They're fun. Yeah, they're a little bit quirky.
Yep. But 2PM fucked up. Their name don't start with B. So they're going to have to change their name, I guess.
B2PM? B252.
Be back later at 2 p.m.
Be
BBL at sign.
BBL at 2 p.m. Come back when you hear this song. Be back later.
That's a song. All right, well, let's move on to the next one.
All right. So the next song is by a guy from Winner, the rapper from Winner, Mino, with I'm Him. Now, Winner, they had a double single release, I guess, Coloring, and what was the other one?
Empty,
yeah. And for some strange reason, I guess the rapper from Winner is releasing kind of a solo project-ish. It's not really like solo.
It's a solo song on their album.
It's a solo, but of all the songs on their album, I'm surprised that this is getting like a video. But despite that, the video has a lot of really, really like cool kind of effects and like editing. I thought it was really, really well done. And the beat is really, really good. But the rapping isn't, I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it definitely doesn't hold the song back. I would want to say that. So overall, it's a pretty good song. I probably, if I would download it, I would download it just for the beat. I would be honest. I would just download it for the beat. And maybe the second verse. The second verse is actually pretty catchy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly with you. I think I do like the effects on the video. Not because the video is good. The video is a shitty video. Like, without those cool effects, it's just a generic, like, thing. It's just so many quick shots. You know, he's doing his thing. Like,
Rupert
whatever.
Rappington, rap hands.
Yeah. But with the added effects, I mean, it made it look a lot cooler. So I'm really happy about that. I think the video kind of came. I don't really know what he looks like because they just keep cutting from his face every half second. Like if I was sitting on the bus next to this guy, I wouldn't know because it's just too fast, too much. Again, I haven't like watched teasers of him and like seen his group stuff, so I'm judging that just based off this video. And the beat, I think the backing track is really good.
It's very good. It's fantastic.
I'm really I'm a little surprised they kind of I don't want to say they let Winner have this because like I think CL would have killed this beat. Like G Dragon I think could have really done really well on this beat. Like TOP maybe GD kind of collaboration would have really done. Even Taeyong I think could maybe have done something. Although his rapping is but
I like Taeyong more as a singer than a rapper as well.
Yeah. But his rapping, I'm right there with you. Like, it's not bad rapping. It's decently well. He pulls it off, but it doesn't have any personality in the rapping. It kind of, I think I looked it up. I mean, I know he was like an underground rapper before. And I wouldn't think, 90% of the boy group's designated rapper is as good as him. Yeah. But
very true. I agree with that.
I still don't... I didn't really get much personality from him in this song either. So
you know what? I think I want to be on the opposite end of that. I think it does have personality, but it's just not
from his rapping.
Yeah, I think his rapping does have some personality, but it's not really showy. It's kind of
I guess I thought it was really laid back. Like I thought it.
Which in
to be honest, if I would spend 2 years practicing, I think I could rap like him. I would look like him, for sure, but I didn't find it like particularly like he didn't have like a Gary flow to it. He didn't have like a verbal Jint flow. He didn't have a Sonny flow.
I think I know what you're saying. It doesn't set itself apart from other rappers, is what you feel like. Right?
Yeah, like, I think he does it more convincingly than a lot of other people, but I didn't get a distinct style from him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part. Yeah, but for me, like surprisingly. A lot of the visual images remind me a lot of like G-Dragon, like a lot of the cuts and hairstyles and like the earrings.
Yeah, that one like
they were very, I guess quote unquote YG, but it's really more G-Dragon, like the hairstyle and everything.
Yeah, that like the moosed up like.
Yeah. But the reason why I like GD. Isn't necessarily because of all those stylings. Is that his rap style is very specific.
Like, I feel like if I heard a GD song and I didn't know it was GD,
you immediately
like,
would be able to tell. Same as Top, you know, same as a lot of like other
CL.
rappers.
I mean, granted she's
CL,
a girl, but if I heard a CL, I mean, I know that's CL.
Like a Verbal Jint, Sani, you know, like rappers like that have a very distinctive style. And Mino does have his own style, but it's a little bit more laid back. It's not really flashy, I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
like, it might be a little I mean, it is definitely blasphemous to say, but like from what I've seen of Winner, I don't see a style of their own. I see the YG style, which when we really say YG style, I don't even mean YG style. It's really just Big Bang style, to be honest. Like, YG has had a storied history, yes.
Yeah.
But
the moneymaker is Big Bang.
The Big Bang, and 21 is different enough where they have their own kind of style going, but it feels like for this, they're just kind of, they're not giving them their own personality. They're kind of, it's still like, you can be like, that reminds me a little bit of GD. That song reminds me a little bit of Big Bang. This one remind me a little bit of this. And it's like,
I want to say that we're probably not the only ones who think this, because I feel a lot of the fandoms, you know, just going on forums and things like that, they'll say like, oh yeah, like if you add this guy and this guy, like you get this guy from Winner, or like if you have this style and this style, you get this guy from Winner. Winner just seems like kind of I wouldn't say hodgepodge, but hodgepodge kind of has like a negative connotation to it. Yeah. But they're a combination of like all the different styles that YG has. Except for maybe Akdong musician. There ain't no Akdong musician.
They're not really YG. They're just in YG, but they had that style, I mean, before. I will say, of course, they're a debut group. I mean, they haven't had their chance to kind of come out, even though they've been around for a while at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other groups that debuted, like even like Big Bang, they had some really interesting songs that I wouldn't necessarily say is their style. Like Lollipop was really, really strange if you think about.
I love that song.
Yeah, I know you love that song, but I'm saying like it's just not it's not what you would think when you would think like Big Bang style. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll keep an eye on Winner as they release more stuff and see what kind of direction their music takes and style. But
I am really interested and also a little bit scared of what happens when they release their next boy group. Because this will be because they're having their mix and match.
Right? Team B.
That half Team B, half new people that may or may not. I mean, they're doing their reality show again, right? Yeah. So, like, you know, I mean, YG hasn't had two, you know, boy groups at the same time. And when one of them's already similar-ish to Big Bang.
Yeah, how are you going to make the other one, right?
Yeah.
Like when they debuted Akdong Musician was so unique.
Yeah.
Like so totally not YG.
And Lee Hai also is very different.
Lee Hai as well.
Although where's she been? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope she has to come back soon. I mean, I love her voice, but I'm not sure how many of you watched Show Me the Money, but Bobby, I think
he was from Team B.
Like a lot of his songs on Show Me the Money, they're really good. Like,
I think his performance on Show Me the Money has more views on YouTube than this Mino. Mino song. So.
I think the other day I was at some cafe, or it might have been like pizza joint or something, and they were just playing like the Show Me the Money soundtrack. I was like, oh man, this is good. I have to Shazam it, and like I Shazammed like 2 Bobby songs, like just back to back. I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like Bobby. And the song's really good. The rapping's really good.
Yeah.
But
that Show Me the Money show, which if you don't know is like a hip hop reality audition show. Oh,
yeah. Like America's Next Best Rapper.
Yeah.
But Korea's, it's kind of like a Superstar K for rappers.
Yeah. And I think the first 1 or 2 years it wasn't very popular, but like now, like, I mean, that's kind of the trend now is this hip-hop style.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really liking that now. You can see that in the boy groups.
Yeah.
So, like, this Show Me the Money 3 is really, really... Especially with the addition of those Team B members. It's really blown the fuck up.
Yeah. You should really check out Bobby's, like... The released songs he has on that. I'm pretty sure they have, like, a compilation album or something. But you should really check it out. A few of those songs are really, really good.
Well, speaking of... Well, we didn't really speak of him, but speaking of 2PM, let's talk about the next guy. And that is the wayward leader gone home to get a shit ton of tattoos. And that is J Park with his song So Good.
Park Jae-bom.
Man, we just had like Go Crazy, I'm Him, So Good. You just need a two-word song, and you'll be fine. J Park. Yeah, I think I want you to go first because I still need to. I kind of things that I want to say may depend on. What
so
you say.
me and Steven, I feel like we have a pretty big discrepancy on this song. I feel me and him agreed on most of these songs except for this one.
Maybe.
For me, I am a big fan of J Park's kind of solo singing endeavors. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, not like rapping endeavors.
Yeah, like I really liked Promise on the same album. And I also really like this song. It kind of reminds me of a Michael Jackson song that has Justin Timberlake on it, Love Never Felt So Good.
Michael Jackson did a song with Justin Bieber?
No, Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
it was
Justin
like it was like a post-mortem song, like unrelleased.
Oh.
And then Justin Timberlake kind of, I think, remixed it or something, but he at least sang on it.
Sure.
And this kind of has the feelings of that, right? Like you see Michael's dances in this video and some other stuff. I really like the choreography on this. I feel it's really fun. But I saw the dance practice video and he just like has no like he's just like doing the moves like
he's not doing the cutesy faces like he is.
Yeah,
in the
he's not rocking it out like he is in the video.
I mean, that's probably what a real practice video would be like though. For real. Like you don't the practice videos you quote unquote see released are just performances, they're not a hidden camera when they're actually practicing.
Yeah.
So it actually does make more sense that he's tired as fuck and he's like, I'm just
like,
practicing. For me, I mean, the Promise song was a decent song. It was more of a ballady song, right?
Yeah.
And
piano.
When this song came out and we heard it was the summer, more poppy, breezy, I'm like, if you've been a long time listener, Joa is
it's like
not only the anthem of death, but it's also one of my favorite songs of all time, and my favorite song of J Park's. So when I was like, oh, it might be another kind of Joa kind of song, you see a hot girl, he's kind of with her, and I'm just like, all right,
okay,
I'm ready for that Joa.
It's like foreign Clara.
Yes, although the girl was really pretty. His tattoos and his nose dot is not though.
That nose, you need to get rid of that nose piercing.
The nose stud thing is like
J Park. That's
not my thing. But we know a girl who's really into tattoos, right? So maybe the nose thing.
Shout out to you, Nuna.
Yeah. But anyways, the song was an okay song. I think. I know he's trying to pay tribute to Michael Jackson, and he's doing the Michael Jackson movie. He's wearing the Michael Jackson kind of look, style. But number one, like, I feel like it's heresy to say I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan, but like, there are certain parts of Michael Jackson I don't like, and the parts of that was in this song where he kind of break the song and do the like and like those kind of things where it's not really part of the song. But he's kind of singing Ghibli.
He's doing like Michael Jackson-ish runs. Right?
Yes. Yeah. And for me, it's like, it didn't match. Like, I don't think the song matched. Like, it felt like, okay, does this sound like a Michael Jackson song? Like, I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan. That's why I don't know. But it just sounded like he was trying too hard to put in this Michael Jackson tribute that the song didn't click with me.
The way I would describe it is that if it didn't have all of the Michael Jackson elements inside the video, like I wouldn't necessarily consider this like a Michael Jackson tribute. To be honest, this sounds like a J Park song. If someone wants to say, "Oh yeah, this sounds like Michael Jackson could have like written it," no. Michael Jackson would never, ever, being the perfectionist that he was, would never, ever release a song like this unpolished. Now, it's a good song, but I'm just saying that when you go back and look at like Michael Jackson's Thriller album, that album was super duper polished.
Sure. And I mean, his dancing is amazing, and I didn't even. I mean, I thought Michael Jackson, without watching it by myself, I just felt like it was like a shitty it was not very good version,
like an unfinished Michael Jackson. Like he wouldn't really release.
Send up,
Yeah,
And it just didn't work for me. The choreography is great. I mean, Jay Park's an amazing dancer, and I like when he dances.
Yeah.
Like he didn't dance in Promise.
Yeah.
He doesn't really dance in Joa. He just kind of chased after a girl.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see the choreography and the bright colors.
Yeah.
You know, he's a handsome dude. I mean, tattoos aside.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. This song didn't click for me.
You see, when I compare this to a Michael Jackson song or like even Love Never Felt So Good, it's not as good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not going to be as good. But if I think of this as a Jay Park song, okay, this is a Jay Park song as a solo work, I think it's a pretty good song.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as I said, like if I'm going to listen to one Jay Park song, it's gonna be Joa. But the thing is, I want something to replace that, right? I always want a song to be better than that.
Yeah.
It just, you know, I'm not a dude who's going to sit down and listen to this song over if I can just hear repeats of Joa.
Yep.
But again, that song is the anthem of death. I don't necessarily want to listen to that song because if you don't know,
we're very superstitious for that song.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it once on the podcast, but if we ever accidentally hear it, like we're in a restaurant or we're in a cafe and the song comes on, or we're listening on shuffle, and the song comes on. If it comes on an odd number of times, something bad's gonna happen. Yeah. And that day, something bad, not bad happened, like awful happened.
I would say it's pretty
but
bad.
Something like
not
pretty
desirable.
Not good happened that day after I messaged you.
Yeah.
But if you hear an even number of times, it cancels.
Yeah, it cancels out for some reason. I don't know why.
Don't know.
And it's just between me and Steven. Like if he hears it once and I hear it once, it cancels out.
Yeah.
Like as long as we combined hear it on even amount and not on like purpose. You can't be like, I gotta listen to it to cancel out. You gotta hear it by accident.
And you know that song was still a little bit old when we first came here a year ago.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's played less and less as time goes by. So it was really shocking to hear it the other day.
And something bad did happen that day, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of bad.
Yeah.
So the curse is real.
The curse is real.
The curse is real. Jay Park. But anyways, let's move on to kind of the midsection. First, we want to thank all the people that did comment and leave such nice messages on our 2,000 subscriber kind of giveaway video. 2,000 is great, and we're super happy, and I look forward to the next time we can do something like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna say for 5,000.
Probably 5,000. Yeah. If we ever even get to 5,000.
Hopefully we will. I mean, we got something in the fire.
We got something in the works.
I don't know if it's gonna work out or not, but potentially we could get our names out there a lot more than we are now. So I'm really, really, really excited for that. But we also want to thank the people that left us reviews on iTunes.
Oh yeah.
As we say every episode, we are one of the only podcasts that still updates currently, but we're still behind in the search engine of kind of podcasts that aren't even really podcasts. They were just ways to pirate music. They're like DJ stations.
Yeah.
From like 4 years ago. So we want to thank Miss Hollywood 202. She left us, I think, a 5-star review or 4-star review. One of those.
Something good.
And she said, I dig these guys.
I dig them.
Although I disagree with some of their reviews.
Of course.
That's part of what makes them entertaining. And sometimes I discover great songs from artists that I haven't thought about or haven't heard of. And that's exactly why this podcast exists. Yeah. And we're thankful that you understand that.
Yeah. And
we're thankful that you listen and you wrote us a review.
And you know what? I'm really glad that you all obviously disagree with a lot of things we say, because with K-pop you gotta have some sort of like diversity, right? You can't have people who just everyone likes the same thing and nobody really likes anything, you know?
Yep. And we got one more.
So our next review is from Valeria Garcia. I'm sorry, I butchered your name.
Valeria. I mean, you didn't butcher. You weren't like
Valeria Garcia. But Valeria Garcia, she says, at first, I didn't really like this podcast, but I gave it a chance, and it grew on me, in parentheses, like a fungus. I have begun to explore other artists because of this podcast, as well as other K-pop styles.
Yes, yes.
And you know what? That is exactly why we do this K-pop.
Shout outs though to Valeria. I mean, Like a Fungus. I only assume that's from one of the earliest episodes I ever recorded with Kelvin, because that dude did not like K-pop, which is fine. That I convinced him to do that podcast with me, and he was like, slowly, he was like, some songs would just grow on him like a fungus.
And I think we say that like every now and then with certain songs that like grow on us. We're like, yeah, this is definitely a mushroom song. Like it'll grow on.
Yeah,
me.
you like to say mushroom.
Yeah.
And he used to say like a fungus.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a shout out to Calvin, but if it is, thank you so much. And I think you said you worked in a library and in Texas. So number one, I'm sorry you live in Texas. I mean,
he's from Texas.
I'm from Texas. It's friggin' hot, but not as hot as Korea. Not even fucking close. It's
a wet hot.
It's gross hot here, but it's September. It like cools down like amazing balls here though. Like in the morning, I'll be cold as shit, and I need a jacket. But then in the midday, I'm like sweating from every orifice of my body. And then at night again, it's kind of cold. It's weird.
Just bounce. I don't know what it is.
It's not like Texas. In Texas, it's just hot the whole time.
Hot.
But anyways. Now it's time where we want to announce the winner of our giveaway, our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. And who am that?
Who is that?
Who am be the one that is winning the thing?
So I am kind of happy that it turned out to be one of our longtime listeners. Actually,
yes.
Just because. I recognize this name because they comment a lot on our YouTube videos, and you know.
Yeah, I think we had about 84 comments.
Yeah,
on that.
almost 100.
Which I mean, not I don't want to say disappointing, but I mean we get over 1,000 downloads on the podcast on iTunes every episode, plus 400 or 500 views on YouTube.
Yeah. And nobody wants to win anything.
Yeah, okay, we're trying to give you some stuff.
Trying to give you things.
I mean, I totally understand not writing a review if you don't want to, but. Yeah. Trying to give you some shit.
Yeah, but our winner is Winter Bada 1004.
Angel.
And we recognize your name, both Steven and I.
Yes,
because we check the comments a lot. But we put we counted up all the comments. We put it into a round number generator, and it just boop. Winter Bada 1004.
Down 4.
So congratulations. We'll
send you a private message on YouTube. Yeah. And we'll try to get your information. Try to figure out how we can get you some stuff, because again, we were depends on where you live and whether or not you want Amazon, you want iTunes, whether you want us to buy you a CD here, you want his like dirty underwear. I mean, we can get that. We can get that done.
We can get that done.
We can get it done. I mean, it's dirty right now.
I mean, whatever you want.
This dude has some butt problems. You said earlier.
Whatever you want, girl.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, we haven't talked about news in a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to talk about, I mean, really, we just had some happy times. I didn't actually tell you that we were going to talk about this. I just thought of it.
I know what we're talking about.
Of course, what happened in the last couple weeks?
A lot of really sad things, actually, happened in K-pop world. One of the groups that we were actually starting to really get into, terrible accident happened to them. You guys obviously know who we're talking about. We're talking about Ladies Code. Rize and Eunbi unfortunately passed away, and I think Ichir Kimchi kind of did a little segment about it and driving, but everything they said in that video, I obviously watched it. Everything they said in that video about just the safety of K-pop artists and the safety of just driving conditions for K-pop artists, it's spot on. It's terrible, and it's just really unfortunate that is happening. And honestly,
it's unfortunate that people died.
Yeah.
Although if you ask anybody in Korea, like even Korean people, I heard a lot of them say, "I'm surprised it didn't happen many more times before this." Yeah. Because it's so bad. But it's such a sad thing to hear when anybody, even just gets hurt.
Yeah.
Let alone passes away. So, Josh likes to say you probably already know, but truly, if you didn't know already, just I don't know.
Think about it.
We
all kind of love K-pop. Obviously, you're listening to this podcast because you like K-pop. But the sad thing is, because we're consuming it at the rate we are, they got to be producing it at the rate that we want it. Yeah. And unfortunately, that means endangering the lives of K-pop artists, whether it be, terrible working conditions, being overworked, or just, dangerous situations like, driving late at night and like really tough schedules. So, I mean, I don't know what to say.
There's a lot of problems, and I don't want to talk about whose fault it is or, who, whatever. But what's, not more sad than that, but even a couple days after that, I mean, Sungi from Big Bang got in a really big car accident with his Ferrari or Porsche or whatever. Luckily, he wasn't injured too much, but like you can see the video of him crashing into like the medium on the street, and it's like, that's fucked up. I think just the day after that, like JB from GOT7 also got in a car accident.
Yeah, and that was pretty serious.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. Talking to my girlfriend, it's like, is anything going to change with safety here? And she's like, probably not. It's just not. Really It's just not part of their culture here. To like, even just walking home, from school, back from school today. Like I saw, like this little girl, maybe 3 or 4 years old. She was in the back seat, but instead of sitting down in the back seat, she was like hugging the front seat where her dad was driving, and she was like standing up in the car. And they were just driving around, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
It's really just like a perfect storm of things because one, like seatbelt safety and just driving in general is really dangerous here. Yeah. People get into fender benders all the time. Not to mention like driving on the freeway, and just the state at which K-pop artists and K-pop managers are.
Rushed
driving
around Korea.
They're rushing around late at night, super tired all the time, like probably starved, hungry managers as well. Yeah, and it's just a perfect storm for terrible things that happen.
We talked about people don't understand, but like the managers probably work harder than the K-pop artists because they're the ones that have to wake up earlier than the K-pop artists
to wake them up
to figure out their plan for the day. Drive them to that place where the K-pop artists, for all intents and purposes, can be sleeping in the car, right? Yeah. Like, these managers are working their asses off, and I think a lot of people forget about that. So, when they're driving at night in the crazy Korean kind of streets, it's bad things can happen. So,
and the sad thing is that kind of work mentality, like just put in a crazy insane amount of hours, that is ingrained into the culture. That's probably not gonna change.
My girlfriend, she just started a new job, and like on her first day at work, she said her coworkers stayed until midnight that day working, and then she got to work early the second day. I think she got to work early an hour or an hour and a half earlier than she's quote unquote supposed to be there, and they were already there working. And I was like, that's crazy. And then she tells me how much money at her current job that they make. It's fucking nothing. It is like no monies, and they're working their asses off. It's crazy.
It's just ingrained in the culture, especially. I mean, it's not exclusive just to K-pop artists. So
let's hope 2014 is kind of shaping up to be like the K-pop world is turning into the American world, where there's like scandals and wife beatings and crazy shit happening.
Just a lot of
sad things happening, bad things happening. So we're hoping, in the last 3 or 4, at least the last 3 or 4 months, let's hold it. Let's put some brakes on some bad news.
Yeah, let's just pray that, something will change. I mean, I don't know what's gonna change. I don't know how it's gonna change, but I hope something changes.
Something.
Yeah.
Something. But anyways, let's move on. I know that was a down note, but just in case you guys didn't know, that was very, very important. Kind of sad.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about it. And also, I mean, Ladies Code is, they're up and coming. One of our favorite.
They're probably your favorite. I mean, maybe group, aside from Mamamoo. I mean, granted they debuted last year, but they were, and I mean, we just saw them in concert. Yeah. Or like. 2 weeks before.
Yeah, like maybe? me and Steven stood in the rain to see them. and that's really sad.
I mean, it was mostly for Sonny.
Sonny too, yeah.
Yeah, still stuff.
I mean, I threw my dirty underwear at Sonny, so I mean, that's,
Yeah, well.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to your favorite song of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So my favorite song, I guess you would say, is 2 PM's "Go Crazy," but this is, in terms of,
I can't do it.
In terms of, they're doing a Bernie in that one. But in terms of just song-wise, this is a really good song. Verbal Jint featuring our acoustic chingu Eddy Kim with "I Smell Autumn."
Oh.
Not that one. That one.
Oh.
Silly goof.
Yeah, now Verbal Jint, I mean, brand new music connoisseur.
Brand new music presence.
We are big fans of Verbal Jint, although he's, while Sonny's been releasing like smash hit after smash hit after smash hit, Verbal Jint's
been growing a beard.
Verbal Jint's been growing a beard. He's been trying to look like a homeless dude.
And he's been succeeding.
Yeah, but Verbal Jint, I mean, is one of my favorite rappers.
Oh, yeah.
But normally when he features or partners with a singer. And Eddy Kim is an amazing singer. In theory, you're like, Verbal Jint, Eddy Kim, that's a little strange. But
this song,
good God.
This song, though.
It works.
It's really good, the song. I mean, Verbal Jint has been kind of dibble-dabbling here and there. Like, he hasn't really released a song of his own. I think he was on the last Sistar mini album.
Yes, he was.
Napunson or Bad Hands.
I did not like that song that much.
But that song is pretty popular in Korea. I hear it in cafes a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this song, I hope it gets played in cafes because this song is...
It's a perfect cafe song, I think.
It's really good. The video is...
Yeah, we were saying the video is like a college art project. It's like a little too like, we're trying to be deep. We're trying to be deep.
Yeah,
but,
and then Verbal Jint makes like a cameo, like playing guitar. But he obviously doesn't know how to play guitar. Like I can see that from here. Like you don't.
I didn't even know that was Verbal Jint until we watched it again. And you were here. I was like, that doesn't look like Verbal Jint I remember.
And you're like, why is that weird bum?
Yeah, what's that weird bum doing?
What's that weird bum doing?
I mean, I will say, you know, in the Verbal Jint pantheon of songs, like there's still much better Verbal Jint songs out there. But this song is still really good.
Really, it's definitely worth a download in my mind.
Like seriously, if you only listen to boy groups and you come to this podcast listen to boy groups, give Verbal Jint a shot.
Yeah, give the song a shot.
He makes some really good songs with a wide variety of people.
Yeah. And
it's usually pretty good.
Yeah. But I do have to say, if you're not a fan of his rapping style, he will be kind of, you know,
True.
turn off for you. Just as we kind of are with Gary. A lot of people love Gary, but Steven and I we're just not really down with that rapping style. But Verbal Jint also definitely has a distinct rapping style, so.
And we happen to really like that.
We happen to really like it. So.
But yes, Verbal Jint and Kim, I smell autumn.
Eh.
Moving on to probably our most anticipated song, or at least it was mine. Was it yours? Well, it wasn't now. I mean, obviously now it's titties, but that's Girls' Generation TTS.
Yeah.
But prior to them, at least for me, when I heard SPICA was making a subgroup, number one, they made a subgroup with 4 out of the 5 members, which is...
I think one member was kind of like busy, and they're like,
they're like,
just
subgroup.
Let's just call it a subgroup.
Yeah, I think Bo is missing, and I think she's going to do a solo kind of deal at the same time. But so they made a subgroup, and we're like, all right, but SPICA's back, and I mean, they tried that thing in America. Nobody thought that was a good idea, but they tried it. And now they're back, and they were teaming up with our favorite producer... Brave brother, at least one of our favorite producers, who weirdly enough, I mean, he was banging out songs for like a couple months, and then he's like,
stopped.
We're gonna take a step back. We're gonna let Double Sidekick release 20 songs.
Yeah.
You know, we'll bide our time. And so we were like, SPICA.S with "Give Your Love." Now, SPICA, what did you think?
What did you think?
That was terrible.
You should get shot for that.
Yeah, well.
But You want to talk? You want to talk about first? Or you talk
I'll go
about
first.
All right.
You know, I am the Brave Brazza's lover in this duo.
More so than me.
More so than you. Way more so than you.
Yeah.
But I will say though that SPICA.S strong suits are the total opposite of a Brave Brothers song.
Agreed.
Brave Brothers is amazing at making groups that can't really sing sound amazing.
Yes.
And they do that with, like, I don't want to say AOA can't sing in general. I just have never heard them. They're
Really?
not SPICA, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with 4 Minute. I'm sorry, 4 Minute fans, but
Come on.
I think one or two of them can sing decently well, but that's why Brave Sound works the way he does. He can kind of take some voices, meld around
them, and put a funky into it.
Now this song, number one, it lacks a catchiness, which is crazy to me that it's a Brave Sound song. It's lacking a doop-a-doo-doo or a ooh or something lacking. Second thing, you can't. SPICA.S not SPICA. Like they barely get to really sing. They're doing a lot of sing talking. Now I will say though that you know I mainly got into SPICA with You Don't Love Me, and I have gone back. You've shown me a couple of their older songs, and I've kind of looked at some of their older songs, and they do change their concept like a motherfucker. Yeah, they're probably the only girl group I can think of that every song is like a weird, crazy, different concept.
Yeah.
But they're doing the AOA Girls' Day kind of concept in this video, and it just doesn't match. I don't think it matches with them.
So, okay. So one, definitely everything that you said. It lacks a catchiness. SPICA.S not SPICA, and the sad thing is that. SPICA, they are, in my opinion, very sexy on their own, but I didn't think that they needed to do things like this to be, you know, quote-unquote sexy concept. Like, they're kind of just wearing negligees and, like...
It's so weird, but, like, when I watch You Don't Love Me, I think they're 1,000 times sexier than what they're doing in this. Except for G1, she fucking hot. No matter what. No matter what, G1, you sexy. Kind of mad that she wasn't in more of this. But I agree with everything you said. I think that while they're doing the sexy concept, it just doesn't match. I don't think it's sexy other than they're wearing less clothes. Yeah. And yes, that's sexy in its own right, but not the kind of sexy that I want.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, this song, I mean, they're in this video.
There's definitely some parts.
Yeah, they're definitely. But I've like when they're dressed in like their, I guess, sexy office lady outfits. I find that much more sexy than their negligee outfits in my mind.
Sure.
Just because it's you gotta have a little bit of mystery. You know what I'm saying? You can't show too much skin because it's just kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, some people can pull it off very well, and some parts. This just looked really forced to me.
It looked really and I was kind of fearing this with their English release, that they were kind of showing a lot of skin. You know, like
I thought that was sexier than this.
Yeah, I thought that was sexier, and
they were wearing like kind of swimsuit, kind of a little more classy, not.
But I had like You Don't Love Me better than you know that. I can't remember what it was even called, but I feel like they're going in this direction where they're following trends that like are making other groups popular, but won't necessarily make SPICA popular.
And I mean, like, You Don't Love Me now has 2.5 million views, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially compared to some of their older videos. And this one, I mean, yeah, it just got released, but this one's only got 100,000, which is, you know,
like laughable.
Very, 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 very small. And it's just a little sad. It's a little sad that you're watching such a talented group not being able to show off their talent to try and fit in with this trend that they're not even suited for anyways.
And you could say, Josh and Steven, you don't pay attention to other girl groups that have amazing singers and amazing dancers. Well, this is what we're saying.
The voice just went on for way too long.
Well, this is what I'm complaining. Like, like SPICA, we like them because they could do their own thing. Yeah. And we saw their special talents because they were doing their own thing. And this type of concept and music video, it doesn't play to people's strengths. Yeah. And like AOA and Girls' Day, I'm sure they have fantastic singers, right? Fantastic dancers. Maybe. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But there's no way we'll know.
Yeah. Now you could say it's like chicken and egg. It's like, well, they can't show them off if they're always using Brave Sound. Blah 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 blah. But from everything, like you can just go watch SPICA's like Cups video where they sing that Cup song, and it's like they have so much range and they have so much like harmonization skills, and it's like none of that is
on a song like this. Yeah. And I'm just a little bit disappointed.
I may or may not download it. Just listen to a couple more times to give Brave Sound and SPICA another chance. But
I was very disappointed.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. All right. Well, last song we're gonna talk about the main section, and then the lightning round comes out. But what song is that last one?
So our last song is a trio called Nasty Nasty with Knock. You gotta say it like that. You can't.
I mean, you gotta say nasty. You know, like your kimchi. I know.
You gotta say nasty.
Man, why is she so?
You gotta whisper into the mic, like all sultry, like nasty.
All right. That's how you like want it. That's how you get girls. All you listeners, if you want some girls, just lean into their ears and just go nasty.
Then you gotta say it twice, or it doesn't.
You gotta say nasty,
nasty.
I just made a nasty.
What does that mean? You pooped your pants? But let's talk about the song.
You don't want to know.
Let's talk about the song. So, I, for one, really like the male singer.
Sorry, first of all, it is a project group, right?
Starship.
A dude from... It's not Starship.
Star
Empire.
Star Empire. That's what it is.
I looked it up.
Kevin from Zaya.
Yeah, one dude from Zaya. One girl from
Nine Muses.
And one new girl, I think.
I don't know.
It's something like that.
I don't know.
That rings a bell. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Keep going with your...
I really like Kevin's voice. It's fantastic. And it really fits this song. The girl is so-so. I mean, Nine Muses aren't necessarily known for their vocal prowess.
You don't know that.
They're not. But this song was pretty good. I downloaded it. But the video, though, is really nasty. Yeah, they're doing some weird, like, look at my crotch. Like, dances, and there's, like, a three-way going on, but not really a three-way. And then, like, a girl just, I don't know what's going on, but...
See, I like completely opposite. On most things. Like,
what, you like the video and you don't like the song?
No, I don't like either. But... okay, his voice is good. I really like his voice. When his voice came on, I was like, oh.
I think I like the song just for his voice, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe. I thought, like, for example, when we I don't think we mentioned this in Verbal Jint and Eddy Kim's, but I wanted to, which is in Verbal Jint and Eddy Kim, their voices flow together. There's like parts where Eddy Kim is singing while Verbal Jint's rapping, and
they're singing, rapping the same things.
It merges. It's great. That's what I love about duets. I know that it's a featuring, but that's what I love about duets. Yeah. Now some duets are in this a triplet or whatever you call it, is like
so segregated.
It's just so segregated. Yeah. And the thing is, the video is also segregated. The choreography is also very segregated. I even watched the practice video, and it is really the guy dancing by himself, then moving on to one girl, dancing a little bit together, then the girl dances by herself. And then he just kind of goes on. It's just like, here's the thing.
If you're going to make a trio.
If you're no, I'm not even going to say. If you're going to make a shitty Troublemaker knockoff and try to upgrade that shit, you're going to call yourself nasty, but like, number one, this is where I rant. I'm so sorry.
Rant.
Number one, this wasn't even that nasty. All right?
It could have been a lot nastier.
Troublemaker, I mean, I spent a lot of time watching that Troublemaker Now video. I can tell you're getting tired because you're doing this shit. But, the Troublemaker Now video, I'm like, they do a lot of like, you know why Troublemaker now was racy? It's because fucking Hyona's famous as shit. And you don't want, and it was really shocking to see her with another dude from Beast that was also famous, and it was shocking to see them together. It's not shocking to see three people that no one's ever really give a shit about. That came out really mean. But no, it's not shocking. I think there were one or two times with like really close to each other. But it's like if you put two mannequins next to each other and like there was a little girl puppeting them, like trying to act racy because they didn't look racy. It didn't look It didn't look great.
So I think we mentioned this in our last podcast. At least I did. I think that when you're gonna have duets with a male and a female kind of accompaniment, you either have to go like kind of cutesy, lovey, or like really nasty. And Troublemaker works because like when they did Troublemaker, people were like, "Hey, are they together? Are they dating?" It's like their skinship and like chemistry is just off the chain. Like are they gonna have sex on stage? Kind of deal. And that's kind of what makes Troublemaker. And
a big part of their choreography is them dancing together and doing like racy things and like kind of touching hips and touching. I mean, and they do that a tiny bit in this, but really. Like not really. At least not in the video. No. I mean, and it's so weird. Why get three people if for 90% of the video it's like segregated? I just don't understand it. Like you could do some cool things with three voices, but honestly, if I wasn't watching the video, I don't even know if I could have told the difference between which girl was which.
I was just gonna say that actually. Like this could be a duo. I don't know why this is a trio. I think it's more detrimental as a trio, to be honest, because for one, the girls' voices, they sound very similar, and two, the chemistry isn't as fierce when you have three people versus two, right? I mean, you could do something with it, but it didn't work in this one.
Like, I've seen better sex chemistry in K-dramas, and they have some shitty-ass sex chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just wasn't believable in the slightest. But, like, Troublemaker, and I don't know if it's because I know, or not know Hyuna, but I've seen a lot of Hyuna. I'm like, that girl nasty. You know, like...
that girl nasty.
Like, you know, they're releasing, like bonus pictures of, like, blowjob pictures and like you've seen those, right?
Her sucking his finger and you're
like, oh, and it's like, all right,
is this softcore porn?
And for a group called Nasty, like no. I understand that they didn't want to go all the way, but like if you're gonna try and out Troublemaker, you're gonna need to step up your game.
To be honest, I think they put in that third person because they didn't want to get compared to Troublemaker, but too bad.
I think it's the opposite. I think some old dude was like, how do we top two people?
Let's put two girls in there.
It's like, well, yesterday I paid two hookers to have sex with me, and it was great. Which, by the way, happens a lot.
It does.
In Korea.
Sadly.
And so he was like, what's my dream? And then, I don't know, is his name Kevin? But the guy from Zia was like, I'll do it.
I volunteer as tribute.
Best tribute. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that definitely came out a little harsher than it needs to be, as is always my rants. But like,
it is a little bit nitpicky, but you gotta. I mean, we're watching these videos trying to analyze it, kind of ish. So we're gonna be like hitting some nitpicky things and things we don't like, things we like that we see in K-pop. And honestly, if you're gonna go AOA, if you're gonna go Girls' Day, if you're gonna go Troublemaker, if you're gonna go Stellar, that kind of sexy concept, you have to sell it. And I think like AOA and all those other people, they sell it better than Nasty. They have like
definitely
a lot more sexiness to them than this video.
Like, no offense to Nine Muses, but I've never once been impressed by Nine Muses.
They are 9 models supposedly.
So I mean, they're pretty. Really I'm not saying they're not pretty girls.
Yeah, they can't like, sing or dance really. I mean, I haven't really seen them on variety shows. Like, they don't.
Sure, I mean,
besides being
besides all that shit, like just watching their releases, you know, like just never been super impressed by them. But the thing is though, in my head, I really like project groups. When I first came into K-pop, like for example, I know it's not necessarily a project group, but Lollipop. I love that shthat because it's like two different groups. I know they're from the same company and they kind of come together in this other thing. I like that. I liked it when the Wonder Girls had that with Big Bang.
Yeah.
And they would like switch songs. I was like, I'm down for this shit, but K-pop doesn't do that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean they tried to do that and it was a big flop. on like one of the latest like music shows where they kind of like switch
Oh,
songs.
really?
Yeah, like a few. I think AOA might have done like SNSD songs, and they definitely could not have pulled it off.
Yeah.
And I think.
But either way,
Mistakes or something.
that's not really a project group. But in my head, a project group sounds awesome, right? Where
Yeah.
you take one dude from here, one dude from here, one girl from here, whatever. You put them together.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that. So I don't want to be like, just stop fucking doing this shit.
And you know the
But-
sad thing is, like, when you have project groups like that, it's usually either one, they're like a debut, or two, they're not very famous, right? Or not very famous yet. Or three, it's kind of like a company song that they're doing some for some promotion, like SM's Hotmail that you really, really like.
I love that
And
song.
then and that song that SNSD and Super Junior had, the Soul song. That
Yes.
song was fucking fantastic too. I love that song.
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
SEOUL da 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 da.
No. Sounds like
That
a
song.
fucking children's song, though.
That song was good, man. I don't know what you say.
Whatever. Hotmail's the best.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
SM Town, third time around. We got the beat that'll make you want to get down.
I'm good, Steven.
We got the whole SM crew back again.
I'm
All
good,
right.
Steven. I'm good.
2000, I think it's
I
2004.
said I'm good.
Look it
I
up.
said I'm good, Steven.
SM Town, Hotmail.
Don't do
I'm
it.
telling you, if you like, there's a reason why I like 2 p.m. Go Crazy, because it's like I just like that old school shit, man. I like that.
Don't do it.
Anyways, let's move on. I think we're done
Yeah.
giving the nasty to nasty. Let's go to our lightning round, which is where we talk maybe 2 or 3 sentences, kind of quick, lightning fast, about some of the music videos we couldn't fit into our main section.
Yeah. Either we didn't really have too much to say about them, or
It's all bad.
or they're really bad, and we just had bad things to say about them.
Yeah. So,
So speaking of
bad.
just bad.
I know we give this girl kind of a girl group kind of the short end of the stick a lot of times.
Yeah.
And they've been on the short end of the stick of fans for quite a while,
Yeah.
but they keep on releasing stuff. We keep on giving them a chance, and that is T-ARA with their song "Sugar Free." So, Josh,
Oh,
I'll
God.
since I'm the ranter, how about you go first? So
Oh
it's
God!
not
What
always
the
me.
fuck was this? Oh my God, T-ARA. Like, okay, so one, it starts off very T-ARA-y, right? It's kind of very like
It starts,
very-
it starts like an American like EDM song.
yeah, it sounds very electronic. Like T-ARA kind of sounds very electronic.
T-ARA sounds very electronic, yes,
Right?
but not E EDM.
But then,
Electronic.
like, you could be like, okay, yeah, I can believe this is a T-ARA song, and then it goes just
Alright.
to like super epilepsy mode in terms of song and music video. Just like lights, noises, like it made my brain shake, and I threw up when I listened to this song. I might have been hungover, but then my brain shaking. No, doesn't sound good. Mino likey.
Yeah, I want to say it's been a long time since I've not liked a song that much.
Yeah.
But for every reason you just said, which by the way was why I didn't like Red Light by FX.
Why did you have to bring red light into this? I
Because
knew
that's
you were gonna-
exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
And I still
Okay.
don't like. That's why it a little weirds me out that you think all that for this.
Yeah.
When I think FX's song is even more of a hodgepodgey electronic nonsense than this.
Fair
Doesn't
enough.
matter. All I will say is I feel the exact same way
Yeah.
for this song also, which is it's there's no like through line in this song.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of noise and a lot of like the EDM part is for the first 10 seconds.
It's not bad.
I was down with that.
It's not bad.
Then it changes. Then the T-ARA girls come out, and it's like, I don't know what was going on.
And I have to
It was
say,
just
I don't
not
know
good.
if it's the concept or their makeup, but everyone looks the same.
To be honest, I don't know the individual members of T-ARA aside from like the N4 members. You know the Hyomin, the
Eunjung?
fucking Eunjung because she was in
Eunjung.
drama, and then the other girl that went solo.
Kiri, Hyomin, who else is there?
Either way, nice
Harry.
body. Way better song than this.
Surprisingly, and that song is about bad things.
It's about bad things. And then the other song is also better. The sexy one.
Oh,
Nice.
Tail-
Not nice. Not.
T1 Diary?
No, the other solo singer. The other solo singer. We're reaching the end of our podcast. We can't remember things. There are 2 T-ARA solo singers that came out like 2 weeks after each other.
Oh, that's
One
right.
was Nice Body, one was the other one. Damn it. I know the song. All right, leave a comment below. I know you will.
I know.
But anyways, way better. You know what? I didn't like Joan Diary. Way better than this. I didn't like the last 9 releases from T-ARA. Way better than this.
Jiyeon. 1 minute, 1 second.
1 minute, 1 second, never ever. That's the song. There we go. Very good.
I like that song.
Don't leave a comment. Don't leave a comment anymore.
It's better than this song.
Yeah, everything was just, it was like being transported to another world where somebody thought this was okay.
Everybody's crazy except for you.
And still, I know T-ARA's a name, but like 1 million views for that song is fucking 999,000, way too many. Like when there's so many other groups that you know deserve, even SPICA
was better.
Come on.
Like go listen to 2 p.m. Let's go crazy.
Yeah.
That only has about 2 million hits. So,
anyways, moving on to the next song, lightning round. That is Jungin and Gary's song "Bicycle." Now, Jungin and Gary previously collaborated for like this crazy ass chart. Yeah, this chart-topping gangbang song that was doing so well in Korea.
Damn.
I didn't really like that song that much.
Fantastic.
You'd like it.
I didn't like it at first, but it definitely grew on me.
Grew on you?
Mushroom song.
This song I liked a lot more from the get-go. Jungin's voice. Am I saying her name right?
Jungin.
Yeah. Like her voice takes a little bit of getting used to. But I listened to the song 3 or 4 times, and even though we mentioned earlier in the podcast that we're not a huge fans of Gary's flow, his flow is not very long in this. So actually, I liked it. I liked it.
I definitely liked the song as well. I think I like it as much as 사람 냄새, their last song. And I am a fan of Jungин's voice. And like you, I'm not really a fan of Gary's rapping, but yeah, I really like the song. The video was kind of whatever, to be honest.
I mean, it's like one of those happy kind of very OST kind of.
Yeah, well, which you would think like we would maybe like, but it was. I mean, after watching so many videos, like we were just like, maybe not. We're not really feeling it.
But we wanted to put it in here because it's very popular in Korea, but for the international audience, for people who listen to this podcast, you probably would never ever hear this song ever, unless you check all K-pop every day, or you check my website kpopreleases.com, or listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Our next song is by Teen Top, Missing.
Teen Top. Bless you.
Shouldn't have held that one in.
Yeah, your butt's gonna explode.
Ew.
Someone used to tell me that in elementary school. Like, you try to hold in a sneeze, it's gonna come out your butt.
Like a fart.
But like worse.
Like.
So I used to never do that. Never hold in my sneezes, because I was afraid just like like your butt would explode. You know, like the elementary school, like you're gullible. Anyways, Teen Top, nothing to do with butts. But I will say, you know, we're not huge boy group connoisseurs.
But I like Teen Top.
But I've seen a handful of Teen Top things, and when I watched this video, I was like, where did all their personality go?
Yeah. Like, if you go back and watch, like, 긴생 머리끈요? Like, I don't know what the English is. It's like long-haired girl, straight-haired girl.
I can remember in my head their last 2 videos, and it's got a lot of like leg work and a lot of choreography and a lot of very upbeat, very fun, colorful. There's one where they're wearing all prison outfits and they all got prison
that's
names.
What I'm talking about. That's
all right. One dude's name is Scatty44 or something. Me and Kelvin used to make fun of that guy all the time. Because who chooses the name Scat? Like, what do you do?
Scat. But this song, it just kind of lost a lot of personality. Don't get me wrong. I think the song is pretty good. I might listen to it a few more times. It's an awful song. Yeah, but it's just I feel like a lot of boy groups could sing this song, and it would be just the same kind of feeling. Yeah, like Teen Top I feel are unique in a certain way, and they didn't really get to show why. Yeah, we were like, could have been a B song. It could have been. When I heard this song, I thought it could have been a B song for sure. Yeah, but Beast usually has some like usually pretty good eye catching or noticeable choreography. And in this,
I can't remember a single bit of choreography from this.
The only thing I remember was that Neil has his own microphone
His own
stand
mic
for some
stand
reason.
as opposed to the other guys.
Guess he sings better.
Because the mic stand is what matters, right?
Yes. So.
Yeah, if you're a Teen Top fan, I mean, tell us if you really did like this song. But I really thought that they went more with a little bit like SPICA. They went more with like the current trend, and all that accomplished was they got more generic.
Yeah, I like K-pop, like super mega groups, I guess, when they set trends like certain ways, but I don't like it when everybody else just tries to copy a trend, because then you get everything sounding the same and you don't got any like diversity in there, you know?
Yeah, there's a reason of course, every time you grow up in the era, that's the golden era usually. Yeah. But like, we grew up in the era of Girls' Generation and Big Bang and Wonder Girls and whatever. 2PM, but like, whatever. The reason I think we think that's the golden era is because there weren't that many groups at that time.
Yeah. And
most of the at least known groups have a very distinct kind of camp and distinct style that you're like, I'm in that camp, I'm in that camp. T-ARA had their style, blah, blah, blah. But nowadays, in this era of like, there's a new group every week, it's like, it's so, I can't even blame the group, because even if you're the first group to come out with that style, if there's 8 other groups trying to copy your style, then you've just also been roped into this like, bleh style that.
Yeah, like you all have the same concept, same style, like same.
I've seen some of those Teen Top outfits in 7 other boy group videos.
Yeah.
The video is generic beyond generic. I mean.
And there's no real way to like distinguish between, like, people. Yeah. Like you're, like the reason why I think like big member boy groups or big member like girl groups are kind of coming back, they're kind of making a comeback, is because music wise and concept wise everything is kind of sounding the same. So if you just kind of that person looks attractive in that group, right, then you kind of like go into that group and then you have every certain flavor in that group already. You don't need to like go to a different group. So not a big fan of that. What we are a big fan of, or we may not be. I don't know how I feel about it.
Is this guy who's a producer on a lot of hit songs for SM. The name he chose, I guess, to go with is Hitchhiker, with his song 11. Now this, I don't know. I played a little clip of it right before this, but like you need to watch this video, if only at least for 10 seconds or 20 seconds or however long you can stand this video. But what the fuck?
Like seriously, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Like, this guy has some clout at SM for, number one, not only convincing somebody at SM to release this song, and number two, allowing them to release it on the SM channel in front of everybody. And just going with it.
It got like 25,000 dislikes on YouTube. Like, but the funny thing is, Steven and we think it's a really catchy beat.
For the first 20 seconds, I was into it. I was like, dude, when the song starts and the people start singing, whoever this guy is, if he's gonna rap, I don't know. I'm into it.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And then it goes from not really a song and a beat to just him pressing the button and dialing the dials as fucking many times as he can.
That's what I was doing at the intro. If you didn't figure it out, I was doing that.
Yeah. It's just not good. It's just not good. But it is good in the sense that it's a spectacle. So really, if you haven't seen it, you should give it a shot. Hitchhiker 11. Let's move on.
But our next song is by a gal named Puer Kim with Bank.
Yes. Now, Puer Kim, I think this is her second song. I think her debut song was like Mango Mash or Manyo Mash.
Something
Mash.
Yeah, it was kind of controversial because of those barcodes of like SM and YG and things like that, right?
And I was like, they're robots and producing robots. Doesn't matter. the only reason I want to talk about this was personally, I really like the music video.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
The music video, like, it is what a music video should be, which is they listened to the song and they thought, what would be the best music video and representation of this song, and they just hit it. They hit it. It was perfectly matched.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times, like you'll have a concept, and then you're just kind of like, okay, we like this concept. Let's just put a song with it, and just like smash it together, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? This is kind
of a dark sounding song.
Well, I mean,
dark concept.
It doesn't really match, but I guess you like the concept. But this one, I feel like they made the music video especially for the song. I'm with Steven on that. I really like the music video. The song itself is all right. It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but for me, it's very forgettable.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely is mainly I want to mention it for the music video.
Yeah.
So if you're an audio kind of listener, you should get on the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube right now, he's probably going to put a link in there, right, for you to click on it.
Yeah.
But
actually, I don't think I link any of the lightning round songs.
All right. Well, maybe he'll start now.
If you want, I guess.
I don't know. Or you can just YouTube it, Google that, or YouTube Google that shit.
Yeah.
Bing it, whatever you want to do.
Bing. Good one, Steven.
Yeah. But I really like I like it when things are on the beat. And I know it sounds weird, but there's a lot of kind of like on the beat elements to this music video that I thought was really cool. But you got to see it to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. With a group, this is a third release in lightning kind of fashion.
Steven really hates them.
That's so many groups.
So many things.
There's so many groups.
Steven hates
just kidding.
So many things.
I don't hate these people. I dislike portions of it. But anyways, this group is Orange Caramel with their song The Gangnam Avenue. The Gangnam Avenue.
Gangnam Avenue.
Gangnam.
Gangnam Avenue.
All right. So many people in Texas. They were like, you hear that Gangnam song? Those damn North Koreans.
They're so silly.
That's it. I told you personally, I don't know if I told on the podcast, but I was a high school teacher, and I remember when Gangnam Style was a big hit, and this one girl was like, everyone was like, that Chinese song, I mean, that's pretty generic. But this one girl was like, she was like, I can't believe North Korea would release a song like this. Like, I will not support this song because North Korea is communist, and I will not support Gangnam Style because of North Korea. She was so passionate about it. And then everyone in the class is like, you're a fucking idiot.
Stop breathing. But no, really. Song.
It was tangent. It was the same girl. I'm sorry, girl. But it was the same girl that asked me at the beginning of the year, are you Asian or Chinese? That's what she asked me. Let that sink in.
Let's talk about the song.
Okay. The song Orange Caramel, Gangnam Avenue. This was the only... I mean, Orange Caramel is known for their...
bubbly.
The bubbliness, but also their bright, at least the last two releases, their bright videos made by DigiPetty. We mentioned DigiPetty when we talked about My Copycat. This video, I don't know if it's a DigiPetty video, but I don't think it is. And it really lacks anything. It really lacks any creativity, really, to be found at all.
It's just a lot of, like, face shots and them walking and nothing really.
There's no like quirky dance choreography in it. And the song like is generic McGenerics in town.
It's like super J-pop style.
Yeah. We were saying you probably don't know this, but
they might.
They might. It sounds like old J-pop from like Gundam Wing era.
Yeah, like an opening OST.
Like an opening OST to an anime from 15 years ago.
Yeah. Like
it's just like doom, 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 and there's just like electronic-y shit going on.
Basically, I mean, honestly, the reason that I kind of got into J-pop, and I think you got into J-pop as well for a little whiles, was because of like anime.
Yeah,
like,
that was definitely one of the reasons why I used to like J-pop. I mean, I told you the Gundam Wing soundtrack was one of the only CDs in my entire life I've ever bought, like as a real CD, next to Limp Bizkit and like Eminem. Now we just Googled it and we were like, that shit was 2004.
No, 1995.
I mean 1995.
1995 when
Sorry,
you 2004.
which is almost 20 years ago, which is fucking insane right now.
I feel so old.
Anyways.
Shut your tongue.
All of that, we're getting to the end. This always happens, we're getting to the end.
Yeah, we kind of get antsy.
I don't get as antsy as you. I get rambly.
Yeah.
But I thought the song was not very good. I thought
No.
the music video was not very good.
No.
I know they're popular. They're riding on their popularity train right now. But sometimes you should just stop.
I think this is like
stop.
I think this song was the worst out of all the releases that I've seen. Like that lipstick song was like okay. I liked that song for a while. I also like Catalina. The last song wasn't even that bad. It kind of grew on me a little bit. But this song is just
Yeah. Ironically, at least for me, when it started, they weren't singing in their normal, like, nasally kind of voice. And I was like, oh, this might be an Orange Caramel song that I would like. Turns out,
no.
I'm wrong. All right, last song. Last one. Here we go, lightning round.
It's by Chingu John Park with You.
Yeah, John Park, another Chingy with a guitar, sort of.
Well, he's kind of, I guess he's kind of a singer. He was on American Idol, I think, right? Like he
was
went
on American Idol.
Like
I think he was a semi-finalist.
Quarter or semi-finalist.
And then he went on Superstar K.
Did he win Superstar K? I remember Superstar K like had a shit ton of good artists.
He didn't win Superstar K.
So he probably was top 3, right?
I wrote it down, I think, on kpopreleases.com, but I think he was 6th.
6th, really?
Yeah. That was Superstar K 1 and 2 and 3. Like, there are a lot of people that came out of that. Yeah. So I think Superstar K 2 was like Busker and Ooh La La.
Oh.
Like, I think that was Superstar K 2. I could be totally wrong on that. But anyways, I mean, John Park, he came out kind of last year with some really, really, really good songs.
Yeah.
He's gotten pretty famous here in Korea, I think.
Yeah, I mean, people know of him, right?
Yeah, so I mean, and his name's John Park. I mean, could have maybe chose a more memorable name, I guess. It's like John Smith, I guess.
That's rude.
I mean,
can't choose.
I mean,
the
only other, could be Eddy Kim. You know, what if you can't change it? What if you can't choose your name? Of course, I can choose their name. What are you talking about?
You're right.
But what do you think about the song? Or the video?
So the song itself. Let's start from the song. He is a fantastic singer, in my opinion. I really, really like the elements of the song. I wouldn't say it's very like my style, but I can understand why this is a very like attractive song to like a lot of people, and it could be very liked. Just not my style, I would say.
And we both said that the chorus, which should be the most catchy, is probably the worst part about this
it's
song.
not very catchy, but the song itself is decent.
Yeah, the vocals, I mean, he's got kind of like a low voice, but he can also hit the higher notes, and it sounds really, really kind of smooth and really good. And then the chorus is a little generic-y and poppy, and it's like, all right.
Yeah.
The music video, though,
is about rape, I think. Or about
stalking, murdering, rape.
Yeah, I don't like that. I was watching it, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, there's like another dude, so I don't want to say it's John Park, but he's like creeping on her with the camera, like outside her apartment.
Like super zooms.
Like sneaks into her apartment. She's sleeping on the bed. He like takes out a camera, sets it up like a sex tape or a rape tape, whatever.
God.
It's just really creepy and really
weird. I don't like it.
But the song is about like you, and I mean, I don't know the Korean, but at least the Englishy parts, it sounded like kind of a love song. So I don't know what John Park likes to do, but
maybe he likes to choke girls like a certain friend of ours.
But he should team up with J Park, and they could be 2 Park.
Stop. We're done. I'm done with this.
All right. So that's it for episode 55. I'm sorry that it's a little late. And I know we said last episode that there might be a way that we could record in the Eat Your Kimchi studios, but we're probably going to have to do that later.
Yeah.
We will be going to Seoul for other things next month in October. Yeah. And if we could actually set it up to do both of those things, that would actually be the best.
Yeah.
Not sure if the timetable allows to do that. But it will happen. Before 2014 is over, number 1, we're going to that cafe.
We're going to that cafe.
Number 2, we're going to try to record at that cafe. Yeah. And number 3, Eat Your Kimchi is going to be our new best friend afterwards.
Don't know about that.
Martina is going to be the 3rd member of our podcast.
Don't know about that.
Susie is going to be the third member of our podcast.
Don't know about that.
All right, well, we'll try. Simon will be the third member. We need another dude.
Don't know about that.
All right, well. If you want it to happen, you should tweet them and say, hey, check out this Kpop podcast. Let's work together.
Don't know about that.
But all right, well, that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 more weeks. Prepare yourself because the titties are going to come out soon. Josh is very excited. For all we know, right now it could have been released while we were recording this.
I've already listened to the album. I won't tell you how I feel.
Well, judging from your face, I'm going to say it's decently well.
I mean,
on a scale of I got a boy to
I'm not going to even tell
Mister.
you. I'm not even going to tell you.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. The scale is always good for you.
I'm not going to tell you.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.